In this new stuff training, we'll be looking at template placement policies. This is feat 14942. All right, let's take a look at template policies, the benefits, and how we accomplish them. Templates have been around a while. If you create a template on a cluster within Prism Central, that template resides on that cluster that it was created. If another cluster under managed with that Prism Central wants to deploy a VM from that template, it can, but it must fetch that template at the time of provisioning, and then the provisioning is just waiting for that template data to be copied over. If it's sitting on a fast network right next to it, that'll be a pretty short time. If it's in a remote site with poor bandwidth and a large image, then that is an undisclosed amount of time. So this was a challenge for certain use cases. Template policies will now work essentially the same way that image placement policies did with AHV and Prism Central. So if you're familiar with that, this should be very simple. You'll create a template policy. You'll apply a category that, or you'll choose the category that was selected for your template. And then as part of the policy, also choose a category that is assigned to a cluster or multiple clusters so that this template gets pushed out to them. So creating the policy is very simple. You give it a name, you pick a category for the template, and pick a category for the cluster or clusters. So, and then it will then push this out at the time of creation. So shortly after you create this policy, it'll begin pushing it out to any clusters that it was assigned to. That way, when you go and deploy the template on those, unless you do it seconds later, the template data will already be there. This will be extremely useful for end user computing customers where they have a gold image and they probably have multiple clusters that they need to deploy that to, so that when they go and do their updates to their pools of desktops, that new image will be there already, and they won't have to wait. Provisioning won't be delayed while it pulls that image down, especially for those scenarios where it's in remote sites or bandwidth challenged. Thanks for listening in and learning a few things about the new policies for template placement. Thank you.